Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're getting into something called World Quantum Day. It's not exactly a national holiday, and to be honest, doesn't have a ton of significance, but it is a great excuse for quantum computing companies to pop some bottles and show off what they've been working on. And this year, IonQ will be taking full advantage of it. They're going to be dropping some updates, showing off progress, and reminding us that they're still very much leading the charge in this field. So let's talk about what Quantum Day actually means, what IonQ has been up to, and where all of this might be going. So first off, what is World Quantum Day? Basically, it's April 14th, chosen because the number 4.14 references Planck's constant. The day is meant to raise awareness about quantum science and encourage more people to get off their lazy fat asses and get curious about it. What matters most though is that behind the scenes, companies like IonQ are quietly turning quantum from theory into something practical. Now, IonQ is going to be using the day to highlight some legit progress, because over the past year, they've improved the power of their quantum systems dramatically, doubling the computational capacity, which is a pretty huge deal, especially when you realize how delicate and complex these systems are. And as many of you know, quantum computers aren't just regular fast computers, they work in a completely different way. And IonQ's unique trapped ion systems, which give them a stability edge over their competitors, use superconducting qubits. It's not super flashy per se, but it's technically impressive, and it's pushing the whole industry forward. In fact, one of the biggest achievements is the development of IonQ's Forte Enterprise, which is designed to fit into traditional data centers. And that's a pretty big shift, because most quantum systems are still these huge complicated science experiments tucked away in university labs. But IonQ is trying to take that and make it feel like it's just another box in a server room. That's a step towards scalability and, most importantly, accessibility. The closer they can get into plugging into existing infrastructure, the faster businesses can actually start using quantum in day-to-day operations. And speaking of businesses, IonQ has signed partnerships across industries, including giants like Airbus and GE. These collaborations are focused on solving real-world problems like optimizing flight paths, simulating advanced materials, and improving supply chains. It's deep experimentation with an eye on ROI. And while it's still early, the fact that big players are actually willing to test quantum solutions, I think says a lot about where things are headed. Of course, I think we should stay grounded here, as most businesses aren't rushing to replace their cloud servers with quantum machines overnight. This is definitely going to take some time, as the tech still has limitations, and many use cases are years away from becoming the standard. But what IonQ is doing, and what makes them exciting, is that they're laying the foundation. They're not trying to sell you hype. They're building towards a future where classical and quantum computers can work together. You don't need to pick one. You can use both, depending on the problem that you have. So where does IonQ go from here? Well, I think if the current pace holds, we're likely to see more powerful versions of their systems like Forte, more plug-and-play accessibility, and possibly even industry-specific quantum solutions, like advanced modeling for pharmaceuticals or fraud detection for finance. As classical computing starts hitting physical limitations, that's when quantum becomes a real tool for a competitive advantage, and IonQ is betting on that. And as far as I can see, businesses seem to be taking that bet seriously. So yeah, I know World Quantum Day might not be the most exciting date on the calendar, like Christmas or 9/11, but it gives us a reason to check in on a field that's slowly but surely transforming. IonQ is making consistent progress. They've got real-world momentum, and they're building smart infrastructure. And I know it's not going to replace everything overnight, but it doesn't have to. It just needs to work. And so far, IonQ is proving that it can. In fact, IonQ also recently got selected to set the new standard benchmarks for certain quantum computing measurements. To learn more about this, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.